Hello dear students, this is Tiwari sir here. Today we shall study about for loop in Python. You see, Python is a very versatile language. It has numerous features. It has a vast library. However, the basic things such as loops, conditional statements, and all these things are pretty much same as in traditional languages. However, syntax are different from the traditional languages. Today, our topic of discussion is for loop in Python. So let us begin studying it. Now, what is a loop? Now, how do we define a loop? Loop. Another name of loop is iteration. That means repetition. When we want to do repetitive tasks in a program, we take the help of loop. In Python, there are numerous loops, but today we shall study for loop. I will explain for loop and its different syntax. Suppose we want to print from 1 to 10. All right. Suppose we want to print from 1 to 10. See what I'm writing. For I in range 1, 10. Print I. Now see, we will get one unexpected thing. So what is the result? We got output from 1 to 9. First, let me explain the syntax. For I in range 1, 10. What is I? I is a variable. Its value commences from 1 and it should go to till 10. However, find that in context of range, the loop will work from 1 to n minus 1. Since n is 10 here, it will work from 1 to 9. So we are getting 1 to 9. For I in range 1, 10. That means the value of I will start from 1 and terminate in 9. So if we want to print from 1 to 9 or 1 to 10, what we can do? We will modify them. All right. So instead of 10, we shall write 11. Now we will get value from 1 to 10. So this is the first variation of for loop for I in range 1, 10. Now suppose I am modifying the loop once more. In place of 10 or in place of 11, I am writing comma 2. Now see what happens. We are getting 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That means we are getting the odd numbers. Now what is happening? This is the initial value. 1 is the initial value. 11 is the final value. And 2 is the step value. That means after each iteration, the value of I will increment by 2. So now it is 1. After that, it increments by 2 and becomes 3. Then again, it increments by 2 and becomes 5 and likewise. So we are getting all the odd number within the range 1 to 10. If we commence the initial value from 2, what will happen? We will get value from, we'll get the even numbers. You see 2, we are getting 2 to 9 because what we have skipped here is the range. So let me give the range. If you want to get the even number, give the step value 2. As the loop is starting from 2, what will happen? We will get all the even number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. Now what happens if we want to get a decrement value? For example, suppose I want to print from 10 to 1. Then the loop will reverse. All right. For I in range 10, comma, 0, comma, -1. Now, here one thing is important. In case of decrement loop, the counter is necessary. You see, in these loops, what we are doing? Here you see, in increment loop, that means where the initial value is less and the final value is more, we can or we may omit the counter. Not the counter, the step value. The step value is optional, but here the step value is compulsory, 10 to 0. So we'll get value from 10 to 1, and step value, since step value is -1, we are getting all the number from 10 to 0. If we modify the loop and give the step value 2, we shall get all the even numbers in decrement order, 10, 8, 7, 6, 2, and so and so. Now, for loop can also work on sequence. What is sequence in Python? List, tuple, strings, all these can act as a sequence. So let me show the working of for loop in context of sequence. For I in, instead of giving range, I am giving a list. Suppose 1, 4, 6, 7, 9. 4 values I am giving in a list. Print type. Now you see what we are getting. We are getting the value of the list. Now we haven't selected a range. Instead, what we have done, we have given a sequence here. Sequence can be list, it can be tuple, it can be string. All right. So what happens? I, which is the loop control variable, here I is the LCV. That means loop control variable. So what happens? The value of 1 first enters the loop control variable I. It is followed by 4. It is followed by 7. It is followed by 9. And likewise, we are getting the value printed. All right. So for loop can also work on a sequence. For loop can work on a range. It can also work on a sequence. Now I shall explain the concept of nested loop. Suppose for I in range 1, 5. That means this loop will execute from 1 to 4. For j in range 1, 3. Print ij. Now see what is being shown. Now the j loop is the internal loop and I loop is the external loop. For the single iteration of I, the j will iterate its complete rotation. For example, for I equal to 1, j will work for 2 iteration, 1 and 2. You see, I will work from 1 to 4 and j will work from 1 to 2. So for each I, j will work from 1 to 2, from the value of I till 2. For example, you see, when the value of I is 1, so it will be 1, 1, 1, 2. Again, when the value of I becomes 2, it will be 2, 1, 2, 2. Then 3, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4. This is the concept of nested loop. When a loop is placed inside another loop, it is known as nested loop. Then there is concept of break and continue. The concept of break and continue we will learn when we study the other loops. After this for loop, in another video we shall study the while loop and the other variations of it. And later on, in a single video, we shall study the whole loop, combining of all these things. We are keeping the things simple and brief because these videos are targeted for school students. All right. Of 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we are trying to keep it simple. Thank you.